informant is a Mrs. Sonia Kabanga.
Here we go.
Yes, officers, this way.
Cheers, mate. OK, if you can all move back, please. Thank you, sir. Just move back, please. Excuse me. Thank you. Can you move back, keep the area clear? Thank you.
Sierra 1, urgent message.
Go ahead, Vicky.
Ambulance required. Last week shopping centre car park. Oh, I've already called for one. Sierra Oscar from Sierra 1. Apparently the ambulance has already been called for.
Hey, Mrs. Kabanga?
Yeah.
You got any idea what happened?
It was a kid, a white boy.
Right, what was he wearing?
Let's just see if camouflage jacket. Trainers.
All units from Sierra 1. A possible suspect for the Rawton shopping centre. IC1 male, camouflage jacket, trainers last seen heading into the car park.
10 minutes.
Just move back, please, mate. Thank you, sir. Can you move back, please? Thank you. Right, now, did anybody else see what happened? Nobody else saw what
I
happened?
called them the same time as I called you.
Sonia!
Excuse me, sir, would you mind moving on, please?
Sonia!
Sir, please.
Sonia!
All right. He's my husband.
What's going on?
A woman's been stabbed, Roger.
No. Are you all right? Are you
No, I'm
okay?
fine. It happened before I got here.
I was beginning to get worried. You said that you would only be 10 minutes.
Right, Mrs. Kabanga, can you tell me exactly what it is that you saw?
This kid crouching over her body.
Did you see him attack her?
No.
Stay with me. Hello.
I mean, it looks like it was a stabbing. Did you see him holding a knife?
He was holding something.
I think I should take my wife home.
Yeah, but if you just could hang on a couple of minutes, please, sir, so I can take a few more details. Thank you. Can you move back, please?
Checking her bag for some ID.
Just listen to what I'm saying. Focus on
No
my
sign of a
voice.
purse.
We're going to be just fine.
There's a letter here.
We're really going to be all right.
Addressed to a Miss Harding.
Touch and go, I'm afraid. She's lost a lot of blood. Her internal organs have been badly damaged. She'll be in intensive care for some time. This is Claire's husband.
We're very sorry about your wife, Mr.
Pascal Ilunga. What happened?
We think it was a robbery.
So what did they steal?
Does she usually carry a purse or a wallet? It's just that there was no sign of one in her handbag.
You mean they did that to her for the sake of a purse?
Yeah. There's a lot of nasty people around.
Indeed there are. So do you have any idea who this mugger was?
We think it's a young bloke. Teens, early 20s.
Black or white?
White. A witness gave us a description. We're going to look into it right now. Do you live in Sunhill, sir?
I do now, yes.
Is there a telephone number we can contact you on? Thank you.
Where's home, then?
Rwanda.
Wonder how Polly's getting on at that old boy at the health centre. She was dead against doing it, you know. What's the matter with you? You might run out of batteries all of a sudden. Hello?
Needn't have happened, you know.
What?
Rwanda. Over 1 million people were killed in the space of a few weeks. It was genocide, and we just sat back and watched.
It's like you said, Nick. There's a lot of nasty people about.
I'm not talking about scroats and villains. I'm talking about the mass organised murder of an entire race of people.
I know, Nick. It was a terrible thing that happened. There's not much more you can say about it, really.
No, Vicky, that's just turning a blind eye the same way the world did with the Nazis. You'd have thought we'd have learned something after the Holocaust.
I'm agreeing with you, Nick. I don't understand why you're so hung up on all this.
Because of who I am, where I'm from.
What, a world citizen at one with a great vibe?
No, Vicky. I'm a Jew.
Of course you are. I do know that. I just never realised it was a big issue for you.
It's not. It's just that seeing as someone's already had a fair crack at wiping us off the face of the earth, I'm going to feel for anyone who's been on the receiving end. Why haven't they got a camera inside the tunnel, eh?
There's Sonia Kabanga.
All right, wind it back and see who went in before her, yeah?
Wayne Stevens. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I can. I bet I know where we can find him.
Right, thank you very much. Give me that.
Were you at the Lockmead shopping centre today?
No.
Right, you're under arrest for theft and GBH. You do not have to say anything.
What do you mean,
harm
GBH?
if you do not mention when questioned something which you
What do
later
you
rely on in court. Anything you do say may be
It
given
weren't me who
evidence.
stabbed her.
No, Wayne, so what are all the bloodstains there?
All right, Mickey?
Is been a bit of a brain drain, I see.
The others are off on an elbow in Jamaica Lane.
It'll have to be you then, won't it?
What's that?
We've got a GBH for you.
Have to wait till the others get back, I'm afraid. Meadows wants his crime reports by the end of this shift.
He wants sorting now, Mickey. It's a stabbing. Victim's in ICU, fighting for her life.
Fair enough. I need one of you two, though.
I'll stay with it. If you don't mind, Vicky.
Not one bit. I'll see you later.
That body got a name, then?
Wayne Stevens.
Who's he?
Smackhead.
I want to see the FME again.
The FME said you're already fit to be interviewed.
I need a shot of methadone.
You'll have to wait. Unless, of course, you're going for a no-comment interview, in which case, given the stack of evidence against you, jury should have no problem coming up with the appropriate verdict.
It weren't me who stabbed her.
Then who was it?
I don't know.
Then why don't you tell us your version of the events, Wayne?
So I'm walking down this tunnel, right? And suddenly I hear this woman's voice screaming out for help, shouting, "Stop him, it's Gez."
Gez?
And she's shouting, "Stop him and help. He's a war criminal," like, over and over again.
What do you mean, war criminal?
I swear that's what I heard. So she's shouting for help, screaming at the top of her voice. And then it goes quiet.
Did you?
So what?
Help her. One of her assistants.
I bottled it.
But you never got to see him, right?
As soon as I turned the corner, whoever it was had already scarfed. It's this woman lying there, bleeding.
Well, I suppose you tried to give her the kiss of life, yeah?
As soon as I saw the mess she was in, I ran straight over. There was so much blood, I thought she was dead. Well, then I could feel her breathing, so I shouted out for help myself.
And of course, no one heard you, and no one came.
Well, not at first. I didn't want to leave her there on her own. But then this woman showed. This black woman. And she started screaming out for help. I was the one who'd done it. I thought, well, my record and everything. So I scarpered.
And what about the bloodstains, Wayne?
Well, I held her against me as I was waiting for help.
Thanks, Sarge. No untoward incident.
Right, cell number 2, please.
Get up. Must have got a war criminal story from a tabloid or something. As if he can read. Still, we'll give him 10 out of 10 for a colourful imagination, ain't you?
Did I tell you Claire's husband's a Rwandan?
What of it?
Well, by the sounds of it, he was caught up on the receiving end of the genocide there a few years back between the Hutus and the Tutsis.
And?
Could be a connection.
Well, you believe Wayne's rubbish?
No, but it's got to be worth looking into.
And you reckon it was a war criminal who stabbed Claire Harding?
What I reckon is we should have a word with her husband.
Or maybe, Nick, it was Jane Ripper. Come back to terrorise the Larkmead shopping centre.
Right, Nick? Mickey? You upset him?
Just trying to tighten a few loose screws in his head, that's all. He reckons it was a war criminal who stabbed Claire Harding.
You what?
Some hello bit that Wayne come out with.
Go easy on him, Mickey. I don't know, but I think Claire's husband being a Rwandan refugee has started him off on this big thing about genocide and the Holocaust and... But he's Jewish, isn't he?
Oh, whatever's going through his head is all yours. I've got a lifetime of paperwork to get back to.
What I don't get is why some war criminal from Rwanda be wanting to have a go at a Sunny Lass White in the first place.
Don't know, Smithy. But however much a nasty piece of work Wayne is, there's no chance he could come up with a story like that. He hasn't got the brain for it.
It's best if you have a word with Pascal yourself. You can stop by at St Jude's later.
Of course, you could always do your own research, you know.
What? Pop over to Rwanda?
No, on the web. Enter Rwanda into a search engine and see what it comes up with.
How long before we're back on patrol?
10, 15 minutes.
He's not serious.
You're not eating his sandwich, then? Oh, hello, Sarge.
What are you two doing in here?
Well, Nick's doing some research into war criminals on the web, you know.
What?
Well, it's in connection with the stabbing back on the Larkmead. Nick's got a theory about it.
Yeah, well, Nick's paid to patrol Sun Hill, not cyberspace. Who's that, then?
He looks just like the bloke in the tunnel.
Which bloke in the tunnel?
The husband of the woman who found Claire Harding.
Colonel Augustine Philip Nagazi.
Right.
So what do we do now? Bring him in?
No, not yet. I think we should get in touch with the War Crimes Unit, see what they have to say.
Well, can't we nick him first?
It's not our territory.
But he's just stabbed someone in Sun Hill.
Yeah, we don't know that for sure.
But you still reckon it was Wayne?
Regardless of whether he stabbed her or not, we need to talk to the War Crimes Unit. Mickey, you give him a ring.
Gregory.
Then meet me in my office.
It says that Colonel Ngaze is wanted for giving the orders for the execution of 100,000 Tutsis.
Yeah, War Crimes Unit, please. There's no extradition treaty with Rwanda.
What does that mean?
Unless the UN put out a summons for him, we've got no powers of arrest.
So let's get on to the UN then.
War Crimes Unit are dealing with that. But there's a backlog of court cases at the moment.
But in the meantime, he's free to go around knifing people in the streets.
They said take his details and keep an eye on him.
So we'll leave it there.
What about getting him for the stabbing then?
I said we'll leave it there.
Look, if you don't mind me saying, sir, I think we should bring him in right away before he has a chance to do a runner.
Well, I can't see there's any chance of that, especially if he thinks we've got Wayne for the stabbing.
Look, if Claire comes too, then the odds are she's going to point the finger at him. He's hardly going to wait around for that to happen.
That's presuming it's him who stabbed her.
I think Nick's right. I think we should move in on Ngaze sooner rather than later.
Thank you, Gov.
So if Matt Boyden's happy, he can stick with it. But GBH is a CID matter, so I want Mickey to be in charge. And before you go nicking anybody, do a bit of background work. Talk to Claire's husband. See what the odds are of Claire having recognised Ngaze in the tunnel.
How's she doing?
The same.
Can we have a word? There's been a few developments. This is DC Webb.
Did you find him?
The boy's called Wayne Stevens. We've spoken to him, we've got him in custody, but now we're not sure it's him. Shall we go in there?
Have you ever heard of anyone called Augustine Ngaze? As in Colonel Ngaze, wanted for war crimes in Rwanda.
Colonel Ngaze is one of the most hated men in my country. Yes, I know who he is. Why?
Wayne says when he arrived in the tunnel, your missus had already been attacked. She was lying on the ground bleeding.
What?
He reckons before he got in the tunnel, he heard her yell something out that sounded like Ngaze. She was shouting out he was a war criminal.
Are you telling me Colonel Ngaze did this?
When I first got into the tunnel, there was a black man there with his wife. Well, I didn't think anything of him at first. But then I checked all the photos of Rwandan war criminals on a website. And when I saw Colonel Ngaze's picture, it was the bloke in the tunnel.
You mean Ngaze is here in London?
I don't know how he got here, but there's a definite resemblance between the two men.
But why would he want to kill Claire?
Or is there a chance that Claire could recognise Ngaze?
It's possible, yes.
How would she know him?
Because of what happened to me. 5 years ago, a week after the atrocities began, Colonel Ngaze came to Gamera, the town I come from in Rwanda. He gave orders for all Tutsis in the vicinity to gather in the church hall. There were 300 of us in there. Men, women, children, babies even. All of us crammed together, shaking and crying with fear. They came for us with knives and machetes, hacking away at us like animals. By some miracle, I survived, hiding for 3 days under a heap of slaughtered bodies. I escaped. I found a refugee camp near the border. And I met Claire there. She was working for an aid organization. Many times I have told Claire about Ngaze and the massacre at Jitamera. When Ngaze escaped from Rwanda, she saw his picture in the African press. It left an impression on her. Have you arrested him?
Not as yet.
What are you waiting for?
We haven't got enough evidence to arrest him for the stabbing.
If it's evidence you want, then go to Rwanda. The whole country is littered with corpses.
We've been told that there's some international law that says we can't.
In the same way your international law said you couldn't stop the killings in the first place.
Right, don't let him know we're onto him, yeah?
I reckon we should be upfront about it.
No, let him dig his own grave. Plus, I want to see if his wife's in on it.
It was Sonia who phoned the old bill in the first place. It's her we should be showing the photo to.
Wait. I don't care what your views are. Just let me do the talking, yeah? Let's go.
Hello, Mrs. Kabanga. I'm P.C. Klein. This is D.C. Webb, a colleague of mine from Sun Hill.
We were wondering if we could ask you a few more questions. All right, if we come in. Any chance of having a word with your husband as well?
Why?
We're just wondering whether he'd seen or heard anything himself.
He saw nothing.
Well, we'd still like to speak to him all the same, for the sake of the records.
Roger? The police are here. They want to ask you some questions.
Well, Mr. Kabanga, I'm D.C. Webb.
D.C. Webb and
P.C. Klein.
P.C. Klein. Please, everyone, be seated. So, how is the poor woman?
She's been kept in intensive care.
I pray to God that she survived. It was an evil and wicked thing to have done. Are you any closer to finding the man who did this?
Well, we've got a suspect in custody, but as yet we're not in a position to charge him for the stabbing.
Is that because you need somebody to identify him?
Well, according to your statement, you never actually saw Wayne Stevens in the possession of a knife.
Oh, it's obvious it was him.
Oh, we're not ruling out the possibility that the man you saw is guilty as such. It's just that there's fresh evidence to suggest that it could have been someone else. According to our sources, Claire Harding, that's the victim, was heard shouting something in a tunnel before she was attacked. Did you hear anything at all?
No. Nothing.
And whereabouts were you when all this happened?
I was waiting for Sonia in the car.
Where was the car parked?
In the car park.
Where exactly in the car park?
Well, I mean, why is this of importance?
We were just thinking there's a possibility that your husband may have heard something, that's all.
I heard nothing.
How close to the tunnel were you?
30, 40 yards. I was listening to music.
So why did you suddenly decide to get out of your car and go into the tunnel?
Sonia told me that she would only be 10 minutes. I'd already waited for more than 20 minutes. So when I saw the police car, I began to get worried.
Just what exactly are you trying to say here?
We're just trying to develop an overall picture, that's all.
You already know it was Wayne, whatever his name is, who stabbed the girl.
In all likelihood, yes.
So what are you trying to blame on Roger?
Look, it's a formality for us to cover each and every avenue, that's all.
You've just reached the end of a cul-de-sac, so you can go back where you came from.
Does the name Colonel Nagasi mean anything to you, Mr. Kabanga?
Who?
Sonia, why don't you go and make our guests some tea?
I'm sorry, Roger, but I don't think I like what's being said here.
Sonia, go and make some tea. Now, please.
Or we could have this conversation somewhere more private.
I thought I said leave the talking to me.
But he knew we were onto him as soon as he walked in the door.
Well, there's still no need to play the trump card, was there?
Well, she was on the verge of kicking us out, and he'd have been on the next plane to Rio de Janeiro.
You seem to have forgotten one small detail. We've still got no hard evidence.
We'll find some.
Well, for your sake, we better had. Who are you calling?
Never you mind. I'll be in there in a second.
You got any ID on you? Driving licence, credit cards?
Of course. I can even show you my passport.
And why are you carrying that?
I find it saves unnecessary time wasting when I'm stopped by the police.
And you got this issued when?
June 96, I think it says in the back.
And you were granted UK citizenship through marrying your wife?
That's correct.
Did you meet Sonia here?
That's also correct.
So which part of Africa are you originally from?
Kenya.
You ever been to Rwanda, Mr. Kabanga?
Never in my life.
Sure about that?
I've already answered that question.
It's where Colonel Augustine Negesi comes from. Man I asked you about earlier. It's also the name Claire was shouting out in the tunnel right before she was stabbed. See, I've been doing a bit of research on this Colonel Negesi. Turns out he's wanted by the UN for rape and mass genocide. Now they say he's gone into hiding. I also happen to have seen a photo of Colonel Negesi. And you know what, Mr. Kabanga? He looks just like you.
Well, it's quite something, P.C. Klein. But it's a well-known fact that we Africans all look the same to the white man.
Nah. This Colonel Negesi has very distinctive features. Have a look.
Well, that's quite incredible. Obviously, my mother never told me that I have a secret twin brother. But all the same, I assure you, P.C. Klein, that I know nothing of this Colonel Negesi. What is more, I have never worn a uniform in my life.
I think you're lying.
Of course, you are entitled to your opinion. But this photograph proves nothing.
What is it?
Someone to see you.
Okay, I'll be right there. Okay, Mr. Kabanga, I think that'll be all for now.
You mean I'm free to go?
Yeah. I'm sorry to have wasted your time. Allow me to escort you to the door. Hello, Pascal. I don't believe you've met Mr. Kabanga, have you?
Who is this man?
Vous avez oublié l'église à Jitamera? Pendant 3 jours, je suis resté caché sous des cadavres égorgés de femmes et enfants. Et maintenant, vous voulez aussi tuer ma femme? Assassin. Menteur!
Non. Alors, vous voulez dire qu'on a permis à un de ces cafards de s'échapper?
What are you saying?
He calls me a cockroach. It is what Hutus call Tutsis. N'est-ce pas, Colonel Negesi?
You're under arrest. This way, Colonel.
Yes, Nick?
Sir, I've just arrested a man for GBH and he's also got what I believe to be a false passport. I'd like to do a Section 18.
Well, what do you hope to find?
A weapon for Claire Harding's stabbing and any other forged documents.
OK, I'll come in and sign the custody record. Come on, in you go.
A word, please, Nick. What are you thinking of pulling a stunt like that?
It worked, didn't it?
Yeah, and it could have seriously backfired.
But there's no way he could have kept up his act after being brought face to face with Pascal. It totally wrong-footed him.
You should have told me.
You'd never have gone for it.
I'm supposed to be running this, Nick.
Sorry, Gov.
Have it your own way. If this goes pear-shaped because of you, you're carrying
I
it.
couldn't give a toss what happens to me. What matters is he gets what's coming to him.
We better make sure we find that weapon.
What's happening?
After you. We've got authority to search the house.
What for?
Your husband's under arrest.
What's going on, Roger?
Sonia, leave this to me.
I'll get you a solicitor.
I've already called for
Excuse
one.
me.
Both you and I know that it was that little bastard in the tunnel who stabbed that woman.
Sonia.
Don't you realise, Roger, they only wanted to be you because of the colour of your skin?
What? Sonia hasn't got a clue he really is.
If you don't want to know either. More to the point, there's still no sign of a weapon.
We'll get him in the interview.
With what?
101 things.
Yeah, all of them a load of rubbish.
So, Colonel Augustine Negesi. How come you lied to us about your name?
I'm a wanted man in my country for crimes I did not commit.
War crimes.
I have to object to the insinuation made by P.C. Klein that my client is a war criminal. It bears no relation to the charges made against him.
After those terrible killings in Rwanda, the Tutsi rebel army, they arranged for a witch hunt for those that they held to be responsible. The members of the former Hutu government, they placed the blame on those who had served them. Loyal men like myself.
So the allegations made by the United Nations are all lies, are they? That you ordered the extermination of 100,000 Tutsis, all of whom were murdered in cold blood?
Once again, P.C. Klein, I object to you referring to war crimes.
Your client was the one who brought them up?
Yes, P.C. Klein, as you rightly say, all lies.
And what about the massacre in Jitamira? That never happened?
Unfortunately, I was present on that sad and terrible day. But my presence there was as a result of the orders of the Hutu generals. If I had refused, I would have been killed myself. In exactly the same way that if I were to return to Rwanda today, I would likewise be killed. I left my country and I changed my identity in order to save my life.
So it never occurred to you on arriving in this country to apply for political asylum?
I was afraid. I was convinced that I would be sent back to Rwanda, where I would be executed, for sure.
Let's get back to the stabbing, shall we? How do you explain how Claire Harding was shouting out your name in that tunnel before she was attacked?
I really have no idea.
We've since learned a few more things about Claire Harding. About how she used to work in Rwanda in an aid camp. Chances are she could have recognised you.
It's possible.
And shouted out your name.
This is according to your witness, huh? A street hooligan, a well-known drug user. Are you saying that you would prefer to believe his word against mine?
I think you're lying, Colonel Nagase. I think you saw Claire Harding in the tunnel, and when she recognised you and shouted out your name, rather than be exposed as a war criminal, you attempted to murder her.
Well, of course you are entitled to think what you like, P.C. Klein. But I have to ask you, where is your proof?
Canon Gazy, this is Harriet Simpson, the immigration officer in charge of your case. She's ready to interview you now. Would you like to sign for the prisoner? All right, thanks.
This way.
So how'd it go?
He rates up there with the world's greatest liars. Record right off the hook.
I need a word with you guys. See the body I've just brought in? I just nicked it for using stolen credit cards. They're Claire Harding's. What's more, she got them from Wayne Stevens. He sold them to her for a tenner.
All right, so he stole her purse, yeah? He's total scum. It still doesn't prove he stabbed her, though.
Puts him right back in the frame, though, didn't it? Sarge, we've got fresh evidence on Wayne Stevens. For the benefit of the tape, I'm showing the prisoner exhibit VH1. 2 credit cards, 1 cheque guarantee card belonging to C.M. Harding. Do you recognise these?
No.
Sure about that?
Yes.
But you recognise the owner's name, Claire Harding. What about Lorraine Ash?
What about her?
Friend of yours, isn't she? Well, according to her, you're a friend of hers. According to her, you sold her Claire Harding's credit cards.
She's lying.
Oh, I don't think so, Wayne. And I think I'll be proved right when these cards get sent for forensic testing and find your DNA smeared all over them. Best if you tell the truth now, Wayne. Don't look good in court when they find out you've been lying.
All right, I admit it. Stole the purse. But no way was it me who stabbed her.
Wayne, do you understand the 2 charges, one of theft and one of assault causing grievous bodily harm?
Yes.
You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence.
The Gazer will still go down for immigration. And once he's banged up, the UN can do him for war crimes.
Mr. Ngaizi's applying for political asylum. So as far as I'm concerned, he can be released on bail.
You're not seriously going to bail him, Sarge, are you?
If he's making a legitimate application for political asylum, then I haven't got much choice.
Yeah, but Sarge is a wanted war criminal. He's responsible for the murder of 100,000 people.
But he hasn't been arrested for that.
What about the fact that he stabbed Claire Harding?
We've just charged Wayne Stevens.
I still don't reckon it was Wayne, Sarge.
I don't believe this.
What don't you believe?
What's going on?
I'm about to bail Colonel Ngaizi, and Nick seems to want to try and take over my job.
Do you still need him?
He's all yours, Sarge.
Right, I want you out in the car with Vicky now.
What, and let a mass murderer out onto the streets?
Are you deaf? I said out now!
All sorted?
What do you reckon? Ngaizi's got bail.
How did that come about?
He got off for the stabbing. Now he's applying for political asylum. They got Wayne for it instead.
140 from Sierra Oscar receiving.
Go ahead, Di.
There's a Sonia Kabanga in the front office for you.
What does she want? Where's my husband?
He's in custody.
What have you done to him?
He's being charged for possession of false documents.
His documents are fine. I want to see him.
They're releasing him on bail.
Well, I want to see him now.
Yeah, he'll be through in a few minutes. There's something I'd like to show you, though. Your husband is wanted by the UN for rape and mass genocide.
Roger's a businessman. He's never been to Rwanda in his life.
Obviously, he's been lying.
No! You're the one who's lying. This, some kind of a trick to put him away.
Sonia, he admitted it.
Yeah, because you forced him to.
He told us how he escaped from Rwanda, that he got hold of somebody else's birth certificate and came to England because he's a wanted man.
I'm not listening to this.
Not only that, Sonia, but we have serious reason to believe that he tried to murder Claire Harding.
You're just trying to pin something on him because he's black.
Your husband is not the person you think he is, Sonia. He's dangerous and he's a murderer.
Right, that's enough. Let Mrs. Kabanga take her husband home and you carry on with your duties.
I don't believe a word you're saying. He's my husband, and you've no right to treat us like this.
All right. Maybe it was Ngaizi who stabbed her. There's nothing you can do about it, Nick.
We should have waited, like Mickey said, put more of a case together.
For heaven's sake, stop blaming yourself.
What's Pascal gonna think?
What does it matter what Pascal thinks?
I want to have a word with him.
What?
And apologise.
That is not your responsibility, Nick.
Not as a copper, it ain't, no. You can drop me off at the lights.
Don't be daft. I'll take you there.
How's she doing?
Still fighting for her life. So, what did Colonel Ngaizi have to say in his interview? I presume he denied all charges.
It didn't quite go as expected, Pascal. We had to release him.
You mean to say you let him go free?
No, we had no choice, Pascal. Look, they've charged Wayne Stevens instead. I know as well as you do that it was Ngaizi who attacked your wife. We just never came up with the necessary evidence to charge him.
He killed 100,000 people, men, women and children. How about arresting him for that?
I'm sorry, Pascal. It's just the way the law works here.
And your laws and your democracy. What about justice?
I know. Believe me, Pascal, I feel just as frustrated as you do. The bastard who did this to Claire has no right to live, let alone walk free. I'm sorry.
Where does he live?
I can't tell you that.
There can't be too many Kabangas in Sun Hill.
I've had a call from this Sonia Kabanga complaining about Nick Klein. She seems to feel he's been harassing her and her husband, possibly with a racial motive. Is there any truth in it?
No, sir. Everyone's getting a bit overheated. It's quite an emotional case.
Well, if Nick can't deal with it rationally, then perhaps he shouldn't be dealing with it at all.
It's all right, sir. I've got it under control. He's back in the area car with Vicky.
All units from Sierra Oscar. A minor RTA, no PI. The slab in car park. Any unit deal?
Sierra Oscar from 171. On way.
Thanks, Reg. All units from Sierra Oscar. A disturbance, 34 Water Street.
That's Legacy's house.
No! Assassin! What's going on, Pascal? You've got to calm down.
You said yourself you deserve to die.
No, but you can't take the law into your own hands, Pascal. Please.
Have you set this up?
Are you not going to arrest this man?
What exactly happened?
He tried to kill me, is what happened. You see, he's completely mad. He attacked me on the way to my own house.
So I suppose you want to press charges, do you?
Of course I want to press charges. He's a madman.
I'm arresting you for assault. Come on, Pascal.
Right, can you sign there, please? And then you can put him in cell number 3. Nick? I hear he got a bit carried away back there.
It's hardly surprising after what he's been through.
It's hardly surprising after you set up a meeting between him and Ngazi. And from what I hear, you went round and personally informed him of Ngazi's release. I'd say you've got a lot to answer for.
All the more reason why I should be let off with a caution.
Yeah, well, we can discuss it, but I have to say it's not the way I'm thinking.
Sarge. All right, then, say what you've got to say.
I just think that you got way too caught up in this one, Nick.
I know. I'm sorry, Vicky.
You know what you were saying earlier about all this making you think about your Jewish background?
What about it?
Were some of your relatives killed in the Holocaust?
I'll tell you the truth, Vicky. Most of my family had been over here since the middle of the 19th century, so I didn't lose any real close relatives. It's just growing up in the East End. There's a lot of people in the Jewish community who don't want to let go of it. How we should never let the rest of the world forget what they allowed to happen. And to be quite honest, all their campaigning and their sounding off used to get right up my nose. My view has always been we should move on, integrate. Then meeting Pascal, it made me think what must have happened in Rwanda. It made me realise that those mad campaigners have got a point.
Just had a call from St Hugh's. Claire's regained consciousness.
Oh, that's great news.
Before you get carried away, I'm only letting you interview her because Mickey's busy. So try and keep a lid on your personal feelings and be a bit more professional, all right?
Hello, Sarge. I'm sorry about earlier.
You calm down a bit?
Yeah. I think Pascal will too when he hears the good news.
Yeah?
His wife's come round, so the odds are he'd be more interested in being with her than having another swing at Ngazi.
What are you getting at, Nick?
Well, I was wondering if we could caution him, Sarge. It's just me and Vic's on our way down to the hospital to see how she's doing, and I was wondering if I could give Pascal a lift.
Yeah. All right. We'll release him for further questioning and you can take him with you. As long as you don't get him whipped up into a frenzy again.
Thanks, Sarge.
And then I turned into the tunnel, carrying my shopping as per usual. And there he was. Colonel Casey. The same smile, the same eyes, the same everything that's in the photo. At first I thought I was imagining it. But the nearer he came to me, the more I knew it was him. And then, just as he was about to walk past, I stopped him. I know it was stupid, but I knew that somehow I couldn't let him get away. It's you, I said. But he just carried on walking. And so I shouted out his name, and he started walking faster. And then I started to yell out that he was a war criminal and someone to stop him. And then he stopped. He started walking towards me and then running. And then, just as he came up to me, he pulled out this knife from his jacket pocket.
You said he was wearing a jacket. Do you remember what kind it was?
Dark. Blue.
Would you be willing, once you've recovered, to identify Ngazi in a lineup?
I'm not sure.
Well, he wouldn't be able to see you.
I think it would be better if you leave now.
So the thing is, Pascal, we're going to need her to ID him in order to put him away.
When she is stronger, I'm sure she will be willing to help.
There's a good chance Ngazi will jump bail.
Never mind about Ngazi, Nick. What matters is my wife is well again. I thank you for your help. I am aware you have got into some trouble in the process.
That's not important.
Mickey, have you finished the report on that airport incident?
Almost there, Gov.
Oh, hello. There's trouble.
I've just spoken to Claire Harding, sir. She's just come round.
Did she get an idea of the attacker?
It was definitely Ngazi who stabbed her.
Case solved then. When can she do the lineup?
Sir, it'll be at least 2 weeks before they let her out of hospital. That'll give Ngazi all the time he needs to sort himself out and do a runner.
All we can do is give immigration a call. Get them to keep an eye on him in the various departure lounges.
Sir, Claire also mentioned something about him wearing a blue jacket.
So what's his dress sense got to do with anything?
When he turned up in the tunnel, he was only wearing a shirt.
The whole car park was searched for a weapon. There was no sign of any blue jacket, let alone one with bloodstains on it.
Maybe he dumped it when he got home.
You were there, Nick. We went through the house with a tooth comb.
Sonia might have a few ideas.
Not her again.
You don't want to go near her.
The Colonel will be home by now, sir. She'll be asking him a lot of questions.
Yeah, and he'd have spun her some story about how he's the victim, why he couldn't tell her the truth, and how he'd never harm a spider, let alone 100,000 tootsies.
Besides, Nick, you made a right pig's ear of this earlier. You were going about it like a bull in a china shop.
Look, I know I was out of line, Gov, but her remembering his jacket could very well be the clincher.
Yeah.
Look, I had her close to breaking point, and what with a jacket and Claire's statement, I can bring her round.
All right. I'll clear it with Mr. Monroe. But don't let me down.
You know, don't you?
Know what?
That your husband is a wanted war criminal. That he tried to kill Claire Harding.
If you think by harassing me further, I'm going to withdraw my allegations, you're wrong.
So what did he tell you when he got home? How did he explain the photo and the charge for forged documents? And Pascal Alunga turning up on your doorstep accusing him of murder? What'd he say, Sonia? Because you're not going to tell me you didn't ask him.
It's none of your business what my husband and I say to each other.
It was definitely him, Sonia. Claire recognised him. It's why he attacked her in the first place.
Roger is the sweetest, kindest, most loving man I could ever have hoped for. There's no trace of violence in him, not even anger.
Goes to show how easily we can be taken in then, doesn't it?
You don't understand. I know him. I understand him. I'm carrying his baby. I love him. I love him.
Yeah, well, they say love's blind.
Maybe you brought out the best in your husband. But he was a different man before he met you.
No!
Yes.
Look, can we talk about earlier, please, Sonia? Does your husband own a blue jacket?
He has a blazer. Why?
Would you remember him wearing it when you left for the shopping centre?
Yes.
All right, would you know what happened to it? It's just that when I turned up for the emergency call in the tunnel, all I remember him wearing was a shirt.
Well, it's probably in the house. Or the car.
We searched all those earlier.
Look, on your way back, did you stop off anywhere at all?
We came straight home. Why are you so interested in his jacket?
Because it sounds like it may have been stained with Claire Harding's blood.
What about when you got back?
I unpacked the shopping.
What, on your own?
Yes.
And where was your husband?
Somewhere in the house.
Where in the house? In the hall? The bedroom? The bathroom?
Oh, outside maybe. I had other things on my mind.
Evening, Colonel Nagaisi.
What are they doing here?
We just came by to collect some more details on the assault made on you. But your wife told us all we need to know.
Oh, quite everything.
Sonia, I told you not to say anything to the police.
She can say what she wants to whoever she wants.
P.C. Klein, you will kindly leave my house.
This is not your house.
Sonia, be quiet.
When my husband...
I said be quiet!
When my husband, Colonel Augustine Ungazy, got back from the shopping centre, he went straight into the garden.
No, that's not true. That's not true!
Perhaps you could show me, Sonia. Thank you.
Well, perhaps if you would tell me what you were looking for, I could be of help.
Bloodstained knife. Bloodstained dark blue jacket. I really would like to know what it feels like to be you right now, Colonel. Augustine Philippe Ungazy, I'm arresting you for the attempted murder of Claire Harding. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Come on, let's go.